Kevin, first of all, this has to be a dream come true to you, or did you ever dream that this was possible, that you could fill your dad's seat here at UNLV?
Yeah, very hopeful, and always a goal to first, be a head coach in college and continue to progress on that path, but then to be able to do it here, always something that, was something that we talked about and wanted, and wasn't necessarily in any rush to do, but definitely something that excited about, and just with the familiarity of the city, playing here as a running Rebel and knowing what it's like. There's a certain level of comfort and understanding in terms of the job and the program and the community and the history. And so it was definitely something that we always wanted to do. And to have the opportunity now, just couldn't be more excited.
What were some of your best experiences that 1 year playing under your dad here? Obviously went to the Sweet 16 in St. Louis there, but what were some of your experiences perhaps that we may not be aware of?
Well, I think what comes to mind the most in that year is just the way we started out, and the way that the city and the community and the alumni and the former players, just how quickly everybody came back and came together, and the level of support and just the love for UNLV that everybody had kind of talked about. My dad had been here for 2 years, and everybody kind of knew it nationally from following Tark's teams. And that great run of success that he had, but then to witness it and to be a part of it just is the most just vivid memory that I have. Just the amount of support and love that we got as the season went on, and we continued to climb nationally and then eventually in the tournament.
I'm going to go back 10 years when your dad left here. It seems like he didn't want to leave here, that he had genuine love for this community. Oklahoma had to beg him 3 times to finally, and then keep and get the money up to an amount. But it was tough for him to leave here, and he had a genuine love for this community. You share that same affinity?
Absolutely. I mean, this is where we've always wanted to be. After playing here just that 1 year, getting a home here in Vegas to kind of make my home base personally. And even after he went on to Oklahoma, still having that house here. So then I came back in the summers if I was overseas or here in the States to make this my home base personally. So, the love for Vegas, always called it home since 2007 after leaving here. So I would say that, he definitely and my mom absolutely love Vegas, but I'm right there with them, if not even higher.
Do you see yourself being here for a long time? I know that's hard to say. You're 3 days into the job now.
Hopefully it's my decision, but absolutely. We want this to be home as long as it can possibly be, and we want to make it work. And there is no, but to your point, there is no other job that it feels that when I talk with Allie or my parents or whoever it may be, that well, if we get this thing going, maybe we can get to blank. There's none of that. We want to be here. The pride of being a running Rebel as a player, and now the pride of being as a coach is it's just special.
There's a few people, myself probably included in this, that think there may have been some planning in this, that you take the job here, your dad all of a sudden retires, that maybe it was sort of perhaps organized so that he could come here and have a role on your coaching staff at all. Do you see that happening?
If he would like to be a volunteer assistant, we'd welcome him with open arms. But yeah, I'm not sure how much of that specific planning went into it on the other side, but no, and just like anyone, if anybody's got a mentor in basketball that has experience and relationships and advice, we'll welcome them. And the fact that he just happens to be my dad, as well as a mentor and a former coach of mine, it really doesn't change anything. If somebody can add value to the program and give us some insight or take a second to look at it from the outside, an outsider's perspective, and we take that and we feel it can help our program, we'll welcome it with open arms.
So perhaps more than just a fan in the stands, maybe sometime on the bench? You ever think that? Now let's go. Could you see that scenario?
I hadn't, but I don't know. Maybe we need to bring it up. But You know, I'm sure he'll be pretty happy here, especially early, to be in the stands with my mom, with my wife, my daughter, just being a fan and cheering.
Your dad and Jerry Tarkanian seem to have a great relationship, an admiration, a friendship with each other. I talked to both of them about it when they were both here. Do you share that same affinity? I mean, you were just a kid when the Rebels won the national championship, of course. I don't expect you to remember that stuff, but do you have that same affinity towards the program from back then?
Oh, absolutely. I think, you know, I remember growing up and pretending to be Greg Anthony and Anderson Hunt in the driveway, you know, shooting after watching games, you know, inside. And just that love for the community and the former players it was always a cornerstone of my dad's. And I think I learned that, you know, being around him, but also experiencing it and watching the effect it can have when the community and the alumni and the former players all can kind of come together and be a part of the program. And I just know the effect it can have on the guys as well, and the players, and the appreciation, because, you know, if we can get the guys to have former players come and talk to them and just share their stories and their experiences, it doesn't do anything but strengthen that love and that bond with UNLV, because while you're doing it as a player, you know, time goes fast and things are moving, and always, you know, you're kind of here to there and just kind of still trying to figure out life and figure things out. But when a former player can kind of come and tell you, you know, hey, in 15 years, you know, the best nights I still have are when we get back together and we watch a Rebel game, or we share stories, or, you know, those reunions. And we talk about coming to practice and supporting you guys, or we look forward to a game on a calendar each year when we all get back together, and just kind of impress that upon the team and the players, and just let them know how important it is, not just for now and that continued gel of the team for, you know, current success, but how it can go going forward 15, 20 years down the line in their life.
What kind of Rebel basketball team do you see yourself coaching? What style?
Honestly, like we've talked about, I just think I think we've just got to have a team that when our opponent leaves the game and their coaches are in their locker room, they're saying, man, those guys love to play. Those guys love to compete. They love to play for each other. They play so hard. You know, you can tell that they hate to lose. And you know, I don't envision it necessarily, you know, a run and gun or a full court press per se at this point in time, but I do envision just diving on the floor, making plays for each other, just having a certain reputation and a mentality that, you know, that we hate to lose. We hate to lose, and we love to compete. And if we can just do that and have that as our starting block going forward with guys coming in and every day in practice, I truly think the wins will come. And because I do feel it's a mentality, because that how you do that anything part in life, you know, is how you do everything. And if we compete in the drills and we compete in the scrimmages, you know, we'll compete in games and come out with some wins.
There seems to be an optimism over the last 3 days in this community for Rebel basketball. I've heard it and seen it, felt it. I would imagine you have as well. Have you?
Yeah, there's been a great you know, outreach of support and love in the community. From former players to fans, it's really been, it just kind of makes me smile. You know, it's been happy and exciting, and to get that feedback, you know, from, you know, people that are now, you know, members of the community that were students when I was here, or people who have been season ticket holders for 20, 30, 40 years. And the love and support that we've gotten so far has been unbelievable. And we really it just really kind of reminds you, you know, of who the team is playing for, and it's not going lost, you know. And that's why we got to make sure we go out. We got to bring people into the program that represent that mentality and represent that love and that care.
Your dad held his farewell news conference in Oklahoma today. A little emotional at times. That doesn't surprise you, though, does it?
No, he's a softie. No, but it doesn't. You know, I mean, he's been coaching as long as I can remember. You know, he was a head coach when I was born in South Texas. So, you know, it's a long way to think about personally, but you can imagine, you know, doing something for that long and it being that ingrained in your life. And, you know, all the trips we took growing up were because of basketball. All the places we got to see and the people we got to meet were because of basketball. They were centered around where he was coaching or what organization he was involved in. And so to think about that kind of, coming to an end, it's got to be overwhelming and emotional. And but I know he's excited to get out here and support UNLV, and he's happy. And as a son, I don't really know what else you could hope for.
How soon are they coming out here? Are they coming out, Mom and Dad? They have the new place out at Southern Highlands.
Yeah, it'll be a good question. I mean, maybe if there's another bad stretch of weather, my mom might be out here a little sooner, but I'm not sure. We haven't talked about it. I know my wife will be trying to get him out here pretty quick, though.
Any other thoughts? Anything else that you want to share with?
No, I just hope to just come support them. Come support the guys. I know that it means a lot to them, and hopefully with COVID allowing it, we can get out into the community and we can have practices open back up, and we can really get out and mingle and be intertwined with the community like UNLV basketball always has. And I really want to do that. And so hopefully, COVID permitting, we can open some things up in the fall and get everybody out here and get them to see their Rebels.
All right, Coach, thanks.
Thank you.